Hey guys, it's Abigail,
It's Jenica.
and today we're going to be talking about Section 6, which is all about power in writing. We will be breaking down Chapter 25, which is all about writing and voice. Peter Elbow discusses the importance of having a voice. There are many skilled writers who know what they're doing or know what they're saying, but in moments throughout their writing, what they are saying to the reader isn't resonating to leave any impact. When we are writing, we often write so that the audience who will read our paper will enjoy it, but that can mean restraining our own thoughts and feelings.
One of Elbow's biggest points in this section is the importance of having our voice translate into paper. When we hear someone speak, we can hear who they are and they aren't worried about being criticized or judged for their mistakes. Because of our fear of being judged or simply because we want to impress, we write a different way. When we write freely without thinking about the prompt or who is going to read our writing, that is when we can produce our best and most real writing. When we write freely, our writing may turn out to be bad at first, but you can thoroughly hear our voice through the writing. We may believe that the best writing is formal and controlled, but the best type of writing is the one that is real and has a voice coming through.
Peter Elbow experimented with students to see how he could make them produce more real and sincere writing. After pointing out students' best passages, it encouraged them to keep writing that way. We all want to produce writing that is good enough to be complimented and talked about. So when someone points out our strengths, we are naturally inspired to take our writing to the next level, writing that has voice. With this inspiration, Elbow's students experienced a change in their subject matter. Their writing began to come from feelings of anger and even depression, which translated to a greater sense of voice in their writing.
After Elbow's students found their voice by writing about things they were passionate about, some felt that they needed to withdraw from writing from an audience. Elbow and his students practiced writing for their own audience, themselves. This allowed for focused experimentation with new styles of writing, with which they grew more comfortable with over time. As mentioned before, emotional, comfortable writing translates to a more powerful tone.
So what exactly is a powerful voice when it comes to writing? Elbow describes voice in writing as a sound or texture within their words. Just as you have the ability to recognize someone's voice over their phone or hear their voice when reading a letter, you should have that same personal experience when reading someone's writing, if it has voice. A writer who practices voice in their writing gives off flares of their personality, giving the reader a more intimate experience into the author's psyche.
However, there is a fine line between person and persona. We may not realize it, but we come across fake voices on a daily basis. Radio announcers, game show hosts, salesmen, and actors. Elbow explores the possibility that these fake voices are actually real. Sociologists have studied that the reason these voices sound more real than others is because we are used to them. The more familiar we are with these voices, the more real they are to us.
When we are writing, we need to loosen up instead of worrying about what the outcome will be or what the audience will think. This whole section is about power in writing because there are truly so much power in our writing once we master how to capture our audience. Elbow discusses many key points such as writing with voice and writing with real voice. Since we want to produce the best work, we are used to pushing away the feelings and experiences we want to talk about in order to produce our best writing. We restrict ourselves because we fear our writing will turn out poorly, but bad writing is always inevitable.
To summarize the importance of writing in voice, here are a few key points to remember. Writing with voice is writing into which someone has breathed. It contains fluency, rhythm, and liveliness that exist naturally in conversation. Writing with real voice has the power to make you pay attention and understand. The words go deep and leave an impact on the reader. However, we must be aware that during the beginning stages of finding our voice, we must be careful as we have not fully mastered translating our voice into words. Completely getting rid of the badness in our writing is inevitable, so always be patient when developing your voice in writing.